Hi, this is Don McAllister and welcome to another Screencasts Online weekly tip video. Now, keeping on top of available disk space is always a necessary evil, and duplicate files are sometimes hard to track down. This week I'll be taking a look at an app designed to make the process simple and effective, and that's Gemini 2 from MacPaw. Gemini 2 is available from MacPaw themselves, from the Mac App Store, or as part of a Setapp subscription. Now, I've got it installed as part of my Setapp subscription, so I'm going to go ahead and say open for the very first time. And it does come with some quite smart opening graphics, so wipe duplicates off the face of your Mac with Gemini. It detects duplicates, locals, or in remote folders. It does use some AI as well to help you find duplicates. It even searches for files that look alike, that are not identical, and allows you to do a manual selection if needs be. It will scan your photos and iTunes. It will also learn from you, but let's hit next and have a look at the application itself. Okay, first thing is we'll have a look at our home folder. So I'll just tap on the big plus. Home folder is selected. We'll say choose. And then we just scan for duplicates. Now it is prompting me to open my photos library. I'm going to skip this for now. Now you can select always open, but let's just stick with our local files. Right, that scan has been completed. It's automatically selected 73 megabytes of duplicate files that we could just click Smart Cleanup and it would go away and it would delete them for us. If we have a look over here, you'll see that 169.8 megabytes was found in my home folder. If I move around this dial, 133 megabytes found in my archives, 12 megabytes in my documents, and 23 megabytes found in similar files. Now, I'm not going to do a smart cleanup on this instance. Let's have a quick review of the results. So in this UI, I can see that there are some exact duplicates that it's found. There are also some similar files as well, and these similar files, well, they're both 23.3 megabytes. These are all going to be images, and it's selected 73 megabytes for smart cleanup. Let's just have a look at these. I can see here, if I click on this drop down, this is the way I can sort them. I can sort them by different folders. Sometimes you get some additional icons here, so you can sort them in different ways to further identify your duplicates. But this is a DMG file. It's in two locations. It's automatically selected one because it is an exact copy, so that's fine. And you'll see here that it's found two duplicates for each of these, and it's pre-selected one for deletion. So I could, if I wanted to, till I'm familiar with the application, just go in and just double check that these are duplicates. So I can see the contents just by clicking on each one. So they are all the duplicates, but if I wanted to have a look at them separately, I could look at archives and documents as well. Now, these similar files here, if I click on here, now these are similar files rather than identical files, so it hasn't automatically selected any for deletion. So it's found two files, but none are selected for deletion. And this is because if we open one up, have a look at this first one. Now they are different file names, but you'll see that they are actually slightly different. They were taken at different times. I actually prefer this one. It's got the darker sky, so I'm going to delete that one. And look at the next one. Yeah, the sky's pretty blown out on that one, so I'm going to delete that one. I can just go through and have a look at these, decide on the one I want to keep, and select the one I want to delete. And we'll just do these a few more. Here are a few of the other icons, so I could, if I want to, sort by different date of last modification or different size on disk. But let's just do a visual look at these. They look fairly similar, actually. They are, in fact, the same photo, so I'm going to select that one. And we'll just finish these off quickly. Yeah, just a slight change. I like that one better, so we'll get rid of that one. They are identical, so we'll select the first one. And this very last one. Again, some more sorting criteria here because there are three different photos here. So different date of last modification, the different file extensions. So I've got a PNG and JPEG here. I've also got the size here as well, and I've also got different image size. But I'll just do a quick visual. Right, they are actually all the same document. I'm going to keep the PNG file, so I'm going to delete those two. So this is part of the AI. It's learning that I'm starting to select all larger files for removal. but I'm going to say no for that. And now that I'm ready to go, I've got 85 megabytes selected. I can just say remove. And they have all now gone to the trash. Now I'm now being prompted, do I want Gemini to remind me about regular scanning? I'm going to say cancel to that for now. And you will have noticed as well that this little thing popped up here. This is a way of sort of gamifying the file deletion process. If I just say got it, you start to win some of these sort of awards as you start to scan more and more. But I have to say I'm not overly enamored by this. You can switch it off if you go to preferences. Right, some of the things while we're here. So yes, we do want to scan for similar files. I don't really want the achievements, so I can switch those off. I can also switch the sounds as well, and I can set my reminder here if I want a reminder. You can set an ignore list, so if there are any various files or folders you want it to ignore or file extensions, you can add them in here, and then some smart selection rules as well, but we'll skip that for now. When you do remove files, you can either move them to trash, select a folder to move them to, or remove them permanently, so bypass the trash when you delete them. Options to remove empty folders and also to replace files with hard links, but we'll close that down for now. Let's just do one more. If I do start over, let's say I want to scan a separate partition. Rather than using these icons, if I just say add custom folder, and I have a partition here called MBP data. It's only a small partition, so it shouldn't take too long. We'll say open, scan for duplicates. And there we go, it's found 34 megabytes. Nothing selected automatically, so I will have to have some manual intervention here. So review duplicates. Right, yeah, not a lot. There are two, looks like export files that are generated during the ScreenFlow creation process. I'm going to delete both of these, and I should get a warning. Yep, are you sure you want to select the last copy for removal? Now, I'm not going to switch off the option to not warn me again, because it's always useful to be warned in these instances, but we'll go ahead and say select, and then we have some similars here. Right, so these are some icon files. They're all very similar. They just have some numbers changed. I don't really want to get rid of these, to be honest, but I don't want them to appear every time I run a duplicate check. So I'm going to add to ignore list, and I need to do that for each one. So I'll quickly run through and do that. Okay, so they've all been added to the ignore list. Now I can just remove. And then if I start over, if I run the same job on the same folder, scan for duplicates, no duplicates found. If you want to learn more about using your Apple devices, there are over 700 full video tutorials available to ScreenCastsOnline members, covering all aspects of the Mac, iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, and even the Apple TV. Now, all full members receive a new Apple-related video tutorial each and every week, as well as a free subscription to the ScreenCastsOnline monthly magazine, packed with videos and articles on getting the most out of your Apple devices. Now, you can get your free 14-day trial membership over at ScreenCastsOnline.com, or check out some of the free content over on the SCO Showcase app on the iPad, iPhone, and Apple TV. That's it for this week. I'll be back next week with another tip, so I'll speak to you then.